As an ex-Californian, I come in this biased because Gavin Newsom and his policies and the increase in homelessness and the taxes were the major reasons that my wife and I decided to leave the state at the end of 2017. So know that to be fair, but I'm going to try to analyze this clip from Fox, and then I'm going to do more because I really want to dive into this debate because it does show the potential future of our nation and where we desire to go. So I'm hoping that Ron DeSantis shows up big time here, but I'm going to try to go over this as fairly as I can.
Let's look at the issue of crime. FBI numbers violent crime nationally for each of your states. Keep in mind, this statistic shows what is the combined rate of homicide, rape, robbery, aggravated assault the year 2022. On the national level, the rate was 380.7 offenses per 100,000 people. In California, meanwhile, the rate was much higher, 499.5 offenses per 100,000. In Florida, lower, 258.9 offenses per 100,000. Governor Newsom, let me start with you. Your numbers are way higher than the national average. How do you explain that when safety and security, I would argue, is a prerequisite for the pursuit of happiness?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. We're near 50-year lows, down 55% violent crimes in the state of California from the 1990s. And I want to compare and contrast that with the issue in Florida that you didn't mention, and that's the murder rate. And let's broaden it more broadly. The issue is 7 out of the top.
Immediately, he's deflecting away from his state's high rate of crime. Double the rate of Florida, according to the statistics given. It's a deflection. He's avoiding answering the question.
Numbers were part of the murder rate.
7 of the top 10 murder rates in the United States of America are red states. He has a 66.
And by the way, this is something that you guys can take with you. Ask which of those cities are managed by Democrats, or the big cities that account for most of the murders in those states. Which of them are managed by Democrats? And you'll find that almost all of them, if not all of them, are.
6% higher gun death rate than the state of California, is a higher murder rate. Go to places like Jacksonville, go to places like Orlando, go to places like Tampa. The murder rate's off the charts compared to cities like San Francisco. And you know what? Even more egregiously, Sean, and I think this is important.
Because they have leftist-leaning politicians running them and Soros DAs, or did in Orlando and Tampa.
And the American people deserve an answer from you, Ron. You had one of the worst mass shootings in American history, Parkland. 17 kids were gunned down, lives lost, 17 others, lives torn asunder. You had a young girl by the name of Jamie Gutenberg, whose father pleaded with you to do something about it. And you know what you did? You did the exact opposite. You made it easier for felons to get guns without background checks, without any training. These people pleaded with you, the parents and the family.
That's a lie. Ron DeSantis did not make it easier for felons to get guns. He made it easier for individual law-abiding citizens to do so. This is Newsom and politicians in general at their worst, where they insert that one word and then it somehow sticks into the crawl of many people's minds, but it's an absolute abject lie. Hope DeSantis calls him out on it.
To get tough on gun safety, and again, you made it easier for felons. He said of you, Ron, and I agree with him, after you signed that concealed carry bill, which increases the likelihood, Fred Gutenberg said, of more Jamies losing their lives and more Parklands, he called you weak, pathetic, and small. So with respect, I appreciate you're talking to police officers in the state of California. You may want to spend a little bit more time, not on the Ohio Trail and other places across this country. You may spend a little more time back in your home state and address the murder and gun violence in your own backyard.
Okay, Newsom allegedly isn't running for office, yet he is spending all this time going to China, running over little kids on the basketball court, and now engaging in a debate if he's not even running for president. Ron DeSantis gets a well-deserved time off in order to do so, while Newsom's state is falling apart.
This is the slick politician. You put up the rates. He has 500 per 100,000. Florida is 250. So that's almost twice as much. And he's trying to spin that to say California's doing good. People are leaving California in droves.
Like I did.
Largely because public safety has collapsed. They have, I mean...
And just so you guys know, I saw it coming. Homeless people yelling at my wife as she's pushing the baby down the street with their hands down their pants. We hadn't been in LA for a year, and that is what it devolved to over that time, and I hear it's way worse now.
You go, when Californians come to Florida, one of the things they'll say, it's almost like an out-of-body experience. They can go to the store, get toothpaste off the shelf, pay for it, and leave, because in a lot of these places in California, everything's under lock and key because they've basically legalized retail theft. They have chosen in California to put the interests of the criminals over public safety. They're easier on sex offenders. They're easier on all these crimes that are leading to a collapse in the quality of life. And if you just walk around San Francisco, you will see, and I think it's interesting, Gavin Newsom was mayor of San Francisco. So he took the San Francisco model, turned that into a template for California's collapse. Now the left wants to take the California model and use that as a template for America's collapse. We cannot let that happen.
Wait, I got to... Governor, no.
It's a pretty
I got
decent
a
answer.
follow-up question. You brought up
Jacksonville, Florida, compared
Governor,
to San Francisco, is 126% higher.
Governor,
in
let me bring up your...
It's 84%
The next question dovetails
into
this.
It's 75% higher. What?
Let me also say,
what are you talking about
when it
comes
jabbering.
to this?
I know you like to jabber.
By the way, those are all easily
I know you like to lie.
Anytime you're uncomfortable,
he put the statistics up there.
Those are all facts.
Your crime is higher.
What are you doing about
we know
the
your
gun
crime's
murder rate
higher.
Gentlemen,
what are you
I'm
doing
going to move
about
on.
the gun murder rate in your state?
We'll let the audience look at the numbers. The FBI.
Okay, looking at this, you saw Newsom completely deflect, try to put the ball that is his ball, that is his failure as a governor, into Ron DeSantis' corner and try to pin it on Florida. And he still hasn't addressed it. Okay, it's decent politically, but does it make him look good in the debate for you guys out there with some knowledge of this now or political acumen?
Numbers and decide. According to the gun control advocacy group, every town for gun safety. Okay, California has the most, as you support, I know, Governor, restrictive gun laws in the United States. Florida has the 19th most restrictive. Yet, if you look at the year 2019, when each of you took office, California has had 21 mass shootings. Florida has had 9. Now, that is according to a USA Today, AP, Northeastern University database data. Keep in mind, a mass killing is defined as the intentional killing of 4 or more victims, excluding the deaths of unborn children and the offenders by any means within a 24 period of time. I believe, Governor DeSantis, you get this first.
What California wants to do is they want to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to defend themselves. Then they go easy on the criminals who are perpetrating the crime.
Absolutely true.
They don't stand up for the men and women of law enforcement. That's why a lot of people have left the state, because they don't get the support from the communities that they need. And, you know, Gavin told another lie. He said we made it easier for felons to do. Felons are not allowed to possess firearms. That's
Thank you for addressing that.
Federal law. That's been long-standing.
No background checks.
That is an absolute lie that he's saying like that. That has nothing to do with buying or purchasing a weapon. So that's just a lie, another lie that's coming up. But here's the thing. People are leaving California in droves because he has failed to stand up for public safety. They are on an ideological joyride to let people out of prison early, to go easy on them. Heck, your buddy, Gavin's buddy in Los Angeles, Gascon, he doesn't even prosecute. When you have, when I was in Southern California for the Reagan debate, a lot of the women tell me they have to take off all their jewelry just to be able to go shopping, because otherwise they're going to get mugged. That is the reality.
This is 100% true. I have friends who still live in the West LA area that go to Beverly Hills or live in Beverly Hills, and they say that it's no longer a guarantee that you're going to be safe, even in that city, which has its own police force, Beverly Hills does. This is 1,000,000% true. Thank you.
That people are facing in California. Gavin can try to put lipstick on that pig, but the fact of the matter is he has failed the people of California.
Governor Newsom.
I love this guy talking about backing the blue when you dangled pardons for January 6 insurrectionists, 85 of them that were literally charged.
He's bringing back figures that he had prepared. Now, I don't blame anybody in a debate for doing so, but you can tell that this is a prepared statement.
With attacking law enforcement. You talk a big game about backing the blue. With all due respect to the crime rate, again, he's not answering the fact that he has a higher murder rate than the state of California, a 66% higher gun death rate than the state of California. And I can easily answer this point. Gun safety saves lives. I don't think it, I know it. And the data bears that out in the state of California. California proudly does lead in terms of common sense gun safety. Common sense.
You know which city is the most restrictive is Chicago, and yet they have a tremendously high number of deaths per capita for firearms. So gun safety, this is just all hogwash. This is just all framing that he's trying to create.
Gun safety saves lives. You had the chance to do something meaningful. You had a chance to do something on behalf of those Parkland families. You did the exact opposite. You moved in the exact opposite direction. With all due respect, look at your own backyard, Ron.
So
You're not mining your backyard on this issue.
I will do that because we have we had two radical left Soros district attorneys, like your buddy Gascon in LA, one in Tampa, one in Orlando. They were endangering the public, and I removed them from their posts. Gavin Newsom has not lifted a finger to rein in Gascon in LA. That city has collapsed. That county's collapsed because he is not enforcing the law. So that's just the and here's the thing. This is what's happening. That California model.
We're a little over time.
You see, he's talking over the point that Desantis is trying to make there. And, oh, don't insult us. Oh, this is the same thing that the left does. They say, we take offense to that, therefore you can't say it, but this is the truth. And as an ex-Los Angelino, everything that Ron is pointing out is factual, and slick old Newsom is just deflecting and playing the victim card, because that's all the left does.
In Philadelphia, Baltimore, all
15 seconds, we got to go break.
Come on. I mean, you're running for president of the United States. You're talking down the great state of California. You're talking down one of the great American cities, Los Angeles. That's insulting. And you're doing it because you're trying to obfuscate the facts that you have a higher murder rate in the state of Florida and the state of California. We got to take some of the lowest crime rates we've had in 50 years.
We'll have more with Governor Desantis.
This is the first clip that I've been able to see, and I'm very impressed with Ron DeSantis, and he is standing up to the deflection that Gavin makes. And I'm going to assume, I'm going to do more of these because I can't find the full video, and I guarantee you that Newsom is doing the deflection and not answering the question, then that he plays the victim card. Oh my God, you're talking down the great city of Los Angeles. And there's a reason for that. Oh, you're talking about down the great state of California. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that so many people have left the state and moved to Florida. Now, granted, I came in here predisposed to like what Ron DeSantis is saying, so I definitely want your opinion on this specific topic. Who won the debate? Please leave it in the comment section. We're going to come back. We're going to do more of these, and I hope that Ron wipes the floor with Newsom in every single one that I bring up. Peace.